Alright, g'day guys, Preston Built Cruisers, welcome back to the channel, back to the videos. Now, very exciting, we're camping at Borough, and if you don't know where this is kind of between Adelaide and Flinders Ranges. It's about 2.5 hours from sort of Adelaide, give or take, and basically it's a stunning campsite. It's massive, it goes kilometres and kilometres, there's two big sections of it, and yeah, there's quite a few people here, I'll be honest, but we managed to get a spot private in the corner, which is quite nice, and there's a massive creek bed and a little cliff behind me, which is really cool. But basically this is the last time I'll be camping with the Prado, and that is very true. So it's quite sad. This is sort of the last time it'll be set up like this, and I'm very sad because I've had this car for over 7 years, loved it to bits, and you know, now it's time to move on to the next project and the next big setup. So yeah, basically I thought I'd do one last walk around, and then yeah, that will be it basically. Alright guys, now firstly is obviously the massive rooftop tent on the roof. Now we've had two sort of hardshell rooftop tents on this car over the years. Previous one was like the Sandhema one from Vicoffroad, and then now we've got the big Airback Tourer 1.4. And I say big because it is quite a big tent for such a small skinny car like the Prado. But yeah, I've done over 20-30 nights in this tent easily, super comfortable, and the mattress is 40 mil, so it's a bit more on the sort of thin side. I think it's 40-50 mil. Whereas normally tents will do about a 75 mil mattress. That's probably the only small negative I would say, but a lot of people do just get a mattress topper, which is very easy to do. But besides that, having the big 230 watt solar panel up there and having power in the tent, that's been a huge upgrade over the old tent. And it does have that little awning which protects you from the rain if you want the windows still open a bit, which I do. And obviously the main difference of it is the huge X at the front, which means the top bit is all higher, as you can sort of see here, and that's great for me being 6'4", being able to have that extra foot room and your feet don't get crushed by the top because it's pivoting at a higher point, which is super awesome. That's the main reason why I wanted to try this one out. But yeah, I'm gonna miss it obviously because this will be selling with the car, so won't be able to use this anymore, and I'll tell you what's gonna happen actually with the new car. Alright, so you guys know Airback Tourer, a big long time sponsor of the channel. Now very exciting, we're actually going to be doing different setup in the 60 series to start off. We're not going to go straight to the big sort of tent and awning heavy setup like this has. We're going to keep the roof on the 60 like clean, which will look really nice obviously, and we're going to go for a swag. So Airback Tourer, you may have heard, but they do like sort of a big swag, like I think it's a 1400 wide swag. And basically we're going to be running that to start off the setup, which I'm kind of excited about because it's been a long time since I've sort of slept on the floor, and yeah, obviously, you know, going from a big sort of luxury setup like this to on the floor can be quite noticeable, but we'll see how we go, and we might get a stretcher and then obviously elevate off the ground, and that will be really nice. And obviously with this sort of setup, great to have the solar panel on the roof and stuff, but getting in and out of bed can be a bit more tricky, so I'm kind of looking forward to just being in a swag and getting out really quickly. But besides that, honestly, this is quite nice. So I'm not going to lie to you guys, but obviously lots of weight, GVM gets touchy as well, so obviously that's a big con to this sort of heavy setup. But 60 will keep it sleek with the fresh paint, it'll look really nice, and yeah, we'll be able to just put the swag in and out the boot basically. So yeah, that's sort of the route we're going to go for the next setup just for now. Alright guys, I thought I would also show you this new chair Airback Tourer release. It is super comfy and super cool, and obviously, unlike most chairs, you can do this. So obviously it's a recliner. Now there are chairs like this on the market, but one of the big differences with this is it's quite a lot wider. Most of them are about 100-200 mil thinner than this, but this is actually quite wide. And I'm 6'4", and I found it pretty easily. And you also may see here on the right, there's quite a big sort of storage tray. Normally these are a bit smaller, but yeah, phone fits in there. You could also fit probably a big book in there or something. And there are 2 cup holders, and you can pop this off and put it on each side of the chair quite easily. And it does also have this really nice little sort of headrest here, which you can quite easily, as you can see, slide up and down if you want back support or headrests. And unlike the other chairs, it packs up quite small, so quite easily, and you're done. How easy is that? 2 seconds. So as you can see, it's more of like sort of a thin but more of a square sort of pack up. if you want to get one, check the website. All right guys, so we're in the back of the boot, the main kitchen setup now. It's a bit messy at the moment, but you know, this is just camp life. This is just how it is. But basically, obviously, leaving this setup is going to be sad because I feel like I've made sort of the ideal sort of layout, but the 60 series, which some of you guys have probably already seen the setup, because the car's a bit wider and bigger, we're going to be able to fit more things in it, do more things. So we'll be sad to see this go, but also, I mean, you guys can see this here, it's also a pretty straightforward setup. So it's nothing, you know, crazy out of the ordinary. But just to give you a heads up on what is actually here, King's 85 litre upright just behind me, and car's on about 2-3 inch lift 33s, and I'm quite tall, so I can easily access that. And so can my partner, being a lot smaller. And I reckon this is a way better way to go than sort of a drop down fridge slide and all that stuff, because it's just a lot of extra time and a lot of extra weight. Now that's obviously got the 10 litre freezer in there as well, which is really nice. And then yeah, that's just got the blacksmith canvas on here, which has my torches, hand sanitizer, little items like that. Very, very useful. And then down the bottom, just the 2 King's drawers. They've been really well. I've had these, bought these secondhand on Facebook, had them for maybe like just over 2 years. And yeah, they've been fine. Right one holds all the servicing tools and stuff, left one's cooking gear, and can't fault them. And obviously you can't fault the price, as we know as well. You guys also may know Kings have released their sort of new design, and they kind of look like XTM drawers with the black and just the black carpet on top. They look very nice. I think those will do very well. And then yeah, these are obviously sort of the blue old design, but they work very well. And then yeah, right in front of me you can see, I think this is a very important piece. It is the sort of hook-on camping table. I think this is a really good way just to get that nice looking bench that's all like food grade proof and everything. You can cut straight on this like a chopping board. And I just think it's a really cool way, a floating table. And obviously I can pick it up and put it on the other drawer. So I can use it on 2 drawers, which is kind of cool, because I don't do this setup anymore, which is the folding table, which I think is still a very good option for this sort of door and everything. But we just found with my car being really high, and I had the sort of up design, it was too high, and it wasn't deep enough. So couldn't fit the cooker on there, could only put a few items on there. And when that's on there, you couldn't open the fridge door. So it was kind of just like a few reasons why I didn't end up keeping it, which I think makes sense. And I like the look of the nice door. But don't get me wrong, if I was doing like a lap of Australia in this car or something, I reckon I'd build a huge compartment in here, put all the spices in there, that sort of stuff, like really try and utilize the space, but don't need to with this setup. Yeah, basically huge open void, which I think is very important, which is what I've learned after camping a lot. And that's for your camp chairs, rooftop tent ladder, table, sleeping bags, all these big items that you need to put somewhere. So I used to have 2 drawers here, and yeah, that was just not going to work. It was really bad. All right, now just on the back here, if you guys haven't seen this already, pretty straightforward. Just got the Race Products tire carrier. Now this will actually go onto the 60, but it's on the Prado'S now obviously. And yeah, I've just got a gas bottle holder from Facebook Marketplace, which fits a 4 kilo gas bottle, so a bit more on the larger side. Most people run 2 kilo gas bottles. And then yeah, that fits in there, obviously locks that up really nice and keeps it secure. And then Rhino rack mounts on the back for a Rhino rack shovel, which fits really well and sort of hidden. And then yeah, this is pretty sick, got like a fold down table. You can store like your axe mounts on that side, whatever you want to do. And then obviously blacksmith canvas bag just for like rubbish and stuff, bottles and whatever. So that's sort of how I run this. And it just really utilizes all that dead space you wouldn't normally use. And I also have a big black box that goes here. I haven't got it for this trip, but if I'm really packing a lot, I'll put like, you know, electric blanket, maybe a recovery gear, that sort of stuff in there, because it is a waterproof box as well. And it's just awesome, because when you've got having much space, you need to be smart and utilize where you get your storage from. So this will go on the 60, and yeah, just make it super practical for those big trips. Okay guys, so Pro Quip jerry can holder on the back, super straightforward. So 20 litres of water, I think it's maybe even 22 litres. And basically this gives us endless water at the camp. But yeah, basically on the rear bar here, there's only one, which I've said 1,000 times. And it's because it's annoying. Like, I can't believe they only did one on this car. Most cars you ever see have a dual rear carrier. They've got 2 here. So 60 is going to have 2, thank goodness. 1 diesel, 1 water, or 2 water. We'll see what sort of trips we're doing. And yeah, that's been really awesome to have water on tap at the back of the camp. Before I had the rear bar, I just had like water in a big jug, and it's definitely not as cool or practical. So when we did Tasmania, go to the BP, fill this up with water on the back, put it in the jerry, strap it up, you're good to go. So definitely love this sort of setup more. Some people complain you spend an extra 4 seconds getting in the boot, which is true, but I'm happy to sacrifice 4 seconds to have all this extra water. All right, and yeah, in terms of the lights, we've got the Terralume sort of rock lights here. Now, I don't even think these actually exist anymore, but super, super high quality. And yeah, Terralume have gone sort of more into the canopy line of things, so they might not do as many lights, but basically one tap's on, one tap's off, and then if you long press both ways, see, I can dim it, and I can also make it brighter, which is really handy. So if you're at camp, Awning's not out with their lights, you can turn this on light around the whole camp. Super, super nice. So there's 2 right there, and then you can also see there's 2 just down there. So that works really well. And then obviously as well, we've got the little USB sort of wire here that goes straight to the inverter. So these lights in the arms are all wired up. So I can literally go here, turn this on here, and turn this on here as well. And yeah, that's just a nice warm light. You've probably seen photos before of it on. It works really well. And there's actually another one up there as well. But I did get these, which are just sort of battery USB charged fairy lights. And you can see here, at night, you'll be surprised the amount of light they put out. But they just set the vibe of the camp. Really cute, really cool. And just another sort of cheap way to get lighting if you don't want to spend heaps of money on lights up here or an awning, obviously. Yeah, another wicked camping item I do recommend. Crash pad. There's also Kings also do one as well. And yeah, you can just put a little like kitchen roll and you just put all your stuff in there. So as you can see, I've got coffee, sugar, utensils. This normally has more stuff in it as well. And then I've got like dishes. I have actual mugs in there. It's really, really handy. And that just rolls up and goes into this drawer here. And you can see here as well, this is the little cutlery bag. So that's just full of cutlery and stuff. So really nice way to sort of pack it all up and get it out the drawer and hanging somewhere. Now this stove, I get asked about this stove a fair bit. This is actually the King's single burner. And I know people don't like King's gear or whatever, but I think a lot of their stuff's good value for money. And yeah, you can see it's well used. It's quite dirty at the moment, but it is very nice. Being a single burner, still got cooking bench space here. And you can see it fits the kettle perfectly, folds down, and because it's the King's Plus, comes with this really nice bag, which has got the blue interior, and I just think it's a really nice sort of thought of product and gets protected when it's put in this bag. And you could honestly, you could use this bag for anything. It's actually a really nice bag. And we also have their dishes. Now, this is just the sink they do. They've actually done a new one that doesn't leak, so make sure you get the new one. And then this one here is actually just the drying rack, which you can see. So super handy, just put everything in there. Don't even get your tea towels wet, and like this is all dry now, and it's only been in there for like half an hour. All right guys, now we'll mention the 270 awning here. This is the 270 Plus Outback Tour awning. Had it for just over a year, been really good, do recommend. And it does have these little sort of like rain flaps that pop up, which a lot of the other awnings do have. But obviously depending on the rain, you can pop those up or down. And then yeah, like I mentioned before, integrated lights, which was a big selling point for me because my other few awnings haven't actually had that. So that was really cool to me. And we do actually run them majority at night instead of these bright ones over here, which is pretty cool. So it does have poles, but as you can see, you also don't need them. And yeah, because it's got the D shape as well, these D-shaped zip, you can go up through there if you want to go to the rooftop tent, but I don't normally do that, so it is an option if you need it. Guys, I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, but Thai Gear, local brand in Adelaide, they make these little sort of guide ropes. And yeah, I've had this one for 3 years now, and it's really cute. You like get the rope, put it in there, zip it up, all the excess, and then this, you pull that down to loosen, pull this here to tighten up, and you can see it's orange, so you can see it at night. Little logo there, and it looks really nice. So yeah, just another little handy product I use instead of the sort of the rubbish tie down ropes it comes with every awning ever. This is a much better solution. Alright, I'll show you guys the rooftop tent as well. Also because of this, Outback Tour have released sleeping bags, which is new. And you can see here it's 1400 wide, which is the exact same as this rooftop tent. You can see up there as well, Outback Tour. It's got this sort of black with the red stitching, and you can also see here it's got the little fabric that goes behind the zip to really keep you nice and warm. And it looks quite nice, as you can see. It's like this sort of little diamond pattern in here. And this is -5, so tinted up to -5, which is nice. And you can see here it's got little Velcro. It's actually got the sort of hood design, so it does sort of snuggle around you a little bit, which I like. And what I thought was cool, not too many sleeping bags do this, but it's got this flap here purely just to lock the warmth in. So you can sort of see that's just a flap, and it's purely just to keep the heat in. And then here as well, it's got a little pocket, so you can see there, put my whole hand in there. So maybe if you got car keys or your phone and you want to sort of keep them safe, knowing that they're going to be there in the morning, you can just put them in that little pocket. So really cool, Bactura. And yeah, they do also a -10, and it's sort of different material. We like this material. It's a bit more like cozy, I guess, in one sense. And I don't know, it's just really nice. It fits the tent perfectly. So if you have an Bactura or even a 1.4 wide tent, I do recommend, because instead of having 2 singles and zipping them together, which is even more packing space, this, when it's rolled up, is about the size of one of the single ones, which was the common one we had. So very, very nice, do recommend. Alright guys, well, that's mostly it for the setup. The last camp with the Prado. Now, obviously what I forgot to sort of mention was the battery, 12 volt setup. 120 amp King's battery, lithium, had no dramas, had it for ages. And also the little 1500 watt inverter, which has been great for charging laptops, cameras, sort of the small stuff. I've tried a toaster and it kind of works, not really. So yeah, I'll leave that up to you. But obviously with the 60, all that's going to be massively upgraded. So can't be too sad because we're upgrading to a better setup overall. But that's basically it. We're camping at Burra, good camp. It's just gotten really sunny now. And yeah, like, subscribe, trying to hit 10K before the end of the year. I'll catch you guys next time on Built Cruisers.